What's up, everybody? Alex Leak and Friend podcast back. I'm your host, Alex Leak, and we're going throwback for a little bit. You see that I brought back the intro music, which we got approved, and we had some changes recently. No more Dustin on as the co-host. He's gonna take a break, focus on some things that he's got to focus on. Tough decisions are sometimes a part of the process, and it wasn't an easy decision to let Dustin go, but sometimes change is needed, and I think it's good for both of us. I think Dustin can focus on what he needs to focus on and get better, and same with me. And I think this is gonna make me get better on my own, and that's something I want to work on as well. So. I'm looking forward to this new chapter in this summer, man. We got so much content. We got rewatches. We got March Madness like this episode. And we got, NBA playoffs. We're going to be covering it all. So let's get into this. This is the 2023 March Madness Sweet 16 preview episode. We got through the first two rounds of the tournament. And man, it's been crazy. This is one of the crazier tournaments I can remember. A lot of upsets. And we'll start in the South region. Bama gets through Texas Corpus Christi. Pretty easy opponent there. They take care of business. Blow them out by 21 points. And then Bama gets into the second round and takes care of Maryland by 22. And I think the biggest thing that stood out for me for Bama is that Brandon Miller hasn't really gone off yet. He had a good second game against Maryland, but in round one, he goes 0 for 5 and 0 points. So he was a non-factor in that first game. They didn't even need him against Corpus Christi. He plays better against Maryland, but again, he's shooting 5 for 22. So far in the tournament. So, for Bama, their next matchup is going to be against a 5-seed San Diego State, and Brandon Miller is going to need to play much better in that game. I think that's a upset waiting to happen. I'm a big fan of this San Diego State team, and I think they're capable of going to the Elite Eight, even potentially the Final Four. It's a very good team. They play defense. They control the pace of the game. They've held both their opponents under 60 points so far. So that's going to be a great matchup, Bama, San Diego State in the Sweet 16. Give me San Diego State in that one. But I'm going to be keeping a close eye on it. It's going to be a great game, and Brandon Miller is going to need to ball out for Bama to advance. A lot of people were thinking that San Diego State could get taken out in the first round against Charleston. The two potential upset matchups were the 5-12 San Diego State Charleston, as well as the 4-13 Virginia and Furman. San Diego State takes care of business, gets that win, but Virginia could not. And if you've seen it, I posted it in the group. I retweeted it on Twitter. The call by Kevin Harlan and Stan Van Gundy as well on the Furman upset of Virginia. And that was just a crazy game. Virginia was up, throughout that game, but Furman kept fighting back. Virginia even led by 4 with 19 seconds left. A terrible turnover by Clark in the final seconds where he just heaves it up court. I think he thought that he could get it past the defense up court and run out the clock. But Furman had a guy there waiting for the ball. He intercepted it. And then they hit an open 3 in transition. J.P. Pegues hits the go-ahead 3, and the call by Kevin Harlan is just amazing. No one could really believe what they saw. And, it sucks for Virginia. Former 2019 national champion, a great head coach in Tony Bennett, and they go out in the first round. Virginia just, needs to do a better job in the tournament, taking care of business, winning games you're supposed to win. San Diego State takes on Furman. in the round of 32 and blows them out by 23 points. And so, that just goes to show you, I think that if it had been San Diego State and Virginia, San Diego State takes that. So, I like the Aztecs, and I like them to beat Bama in the Sweet 16, get to the Elite Eight. Now, further down the South bracket, Creighton, who I picked to get beat in the first round. I picked NC State to upset Creighton. But Creighton has looked pretty damn good so far. They take care of business, win both their games by 9 points, beating NC State, and then taking down the 3-seed Baylor. So Creighton gets to the Sweet 16. And then a shocker over here, Missouri beats Utah State. Again, I was wrong there. I picked Utah State, so Missouri gets that win. And this is where my bracket got absolutely busted, is I had Arizona in the national championship game. I had them losing to Texas. They get beat in the first game by 15-seed Princeton. I never would have thought an Ivy League Princeton is going to steal the show. And then not only do they beat Arizona, but they blow out Missouri by 15. So go Princeton, man. I'm loving this run by the Princeton Tigers. I'm picking them to beat Creighton. I know Creighton's playing some great basketball right now, but so is Princeton. I hope they keep this Cinderella run going. And if they do, then that could set up, for me, that's a 5-seed San Diego State against a 15-seed Princeton in the Elite Eight. We'll see if that happens, but that's what I'm rooting for. And so that's going to be another great game. Creighton against Princeton in the South region. Can't wait for the Sweet 16. These are going to be some great games. Let's go over to the Midwest region here, where Houston takes care of business. I was a little bit worried about Houston having that number 1 seed. Would they trip up? I thought maybe Auburn could beat them, but they took care of business. That was a good game until they pulled away in the second half, beat them by 17. So solid win there. So Houston gets to the Sweet 16 like they were expecting. Miami and Indiana both take care of business. A lot of people were calling for an upset there of either of those two, but they both take care of business, setting up Miami, Indiana, and Miami beats Indiana by 16. Not a lot of people saw that coming. I liked Indiana to get to the Elite Eight, but they couldn't do it. They lose in the round of 32. So Miami, Houston in the Sweet 16. Give me Houston. I actually like the way that the Houston Cougars are playing. They got a deep bench, and they're playing good basketball. They're confident, and I look for them to beat Miami in the Sweet 16. Going down the Midwest, Pittsburgh was my team. I had them winning the play-in game over, who was that? Mississippi State. They won that by a point. Then they blow out Iowa State by 18. I was picking Pittsburgh to get by Xavier as well. They don't. Xavier takes care of business, gets to the Sweet 16. Texas, Penn State. I predicted both of them to win. I predicted Texas over Penn State. They do that. So Texas, Xavier, a big game in the Sweet 16. Give me Texas. I like Texas to win the whole thing. So I'm going to keep riding with that. Texas, Houston would be a hell of an Elite Eight game. And again, I got Texas if that's the matchup. I got Texas if it's against Miami. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to keep riding the Longhorns here. I know, I just think that they're a very good team and can go really deep in this tournament. I like the way they were pulling off wins against Kansas, but those don't look as impressive now with Kansas going out, which we'll get to here in a second. Let's go down to the East bracket, and this is the big shocker of the tournament. Only the second time ever in the history of the tournament, 16 seed Fairleigh Dickinson, FDU, shocks number 1 seed Purdue, 63-58. I love the tournament for these kind of upsets. The 2-15, the 16 over the 1. So much fun to watch and root for the underdog. And I had Purdue losing in the round of 32. But that just goes to show you I don't trust Purdue at all. and rightly so, as they get beat by FDU. And if you look at Purdue's track record, the last 3 tournaments, they've gone out to very high seeds and super early. But the biggest thing is losing to really high seeds. They've lost to, in the last 3 consecutive tournaments, they've lost to 13 seed North Texas, 15 seed St. Peter's, and now 16 seed FDU. So, it might be time for Purdue to get a new head coach because they're not getting it done. And they were very confident and very optimistic about their team this year, being a 1 seed, hoping to go on a deep run, maybe get a championship. And to lose to the 16 seed has got to be just absolutely heartbreaking for the Boilermakers. Great story, though, for FDU. They get to the round of 32, but that's where it ends. They get beat by Florida Atlantic. I had Memphis beating Florida Atlantic. Tough to see Memphis go out so early. And FAU, great story there, going to the Sweet 16. I had Duke and Tennessee both winning. They do that. But I had Duke over Tennessee, and Tennessee beat Duke by 13. Tennessee actually playing some pretty good ball. I got them to beat Florida Atlantic and get to the Elite 8. So keep an eye on Tennessee. They're going on a run here and could be a threat late in the tournament. I was not a believer in Kentucky. They get by Providence. I had Providence winning that, but that's where it ends. They lose to Kansas State. Michigan State beats USC. That's my team. I'm a Michigan State Spartan fan. They advance. Marquette beats Vermont, and then Michigan State with a big win over Marquette. And Shaka Smart goes out early in the tournament once again. He's like, you got to look at his record in the tournament. His last 8 games, he's 1-7 in the tournament. So whatever it is, Shaka Smart is struggling. And, it has some people wondering if that 2011 VCU run was flukish. You know what I mean? And Shaka Smart, high seeds, gets his team in, looks like they could be contenders, and then they get beat super early. So we'll see if Shaka Smart can eventually fix that. But he's only 3-9 in the tournament since that 2011 Final Four run. But you got to give credit to Tom Izzo, the Michigan State head coach. He's a March Madness type of coach. Michigan State's always a threat. It doesn't matter what seed the Spartans are. If they get into the tournament, they're a threat. They're tough to beat. So in the Sweet 16, we're going to have Kansas State against Michigan State. Give me the Spartans. They're my team. I got to ride with them. So that could potentially set up a Michigan State-Tennessee Elite 8. We'll see. Kansas State's also playing some great ball. So we're going to be in for some great Sweet 16 matchups. Kansas, no Bill Self due to health issues, the defending champs. And I think that without him, that played a role in them getting upset by the Arkansas Razorbacks in the round of 32. Massive win for Arkansas. And so, keep an eye on Arkansas as well. They're one of those teams that, like San Diego State, like Houston, that can easily go on a deep tournament run and potentially get to the Final Four, get to a national championship game. A surprising team over here is UConn, who not only got by Iona, but they also got by St. Mary's and blew them both out, by double digits. So UConn against Arkansas is going to be a great Sweet 16 matchup. Give me Arkansas, though. Maybe I'm a hater or a doubter of UConn, but I'm not trusting them. So give me Arkansas to get to the Elite 8. TCU Gonzaga. Great matchup there. Gonzaga gets the win. So now we got Gonzaga UCLA in the Final Four. That's going to be a great matchup as well. Actually, this is a tough one because you could easily say this is where Gonzaga's luck runs out. And I think I'm going to stick with that. I have UCLA in the Elite Eight. I'm going to stick with that. So maybe potentially a UCLA Arkansas, but I wouldn't be surprised for any matchup here. UConn UCLA, UConn Gonzaga, Arkansas Gonzaga, Arkansas UCLA. This could go either way. My pick, what I'm rooting for, is Arkansas. And then I don't really care who wins UCLA Gonzaga. Two solid teams that can both go deep in the tournament. It's going to be a great game. It's one of those games where you don't have a rooting interest. You just sit back and watch great basketball. So definitely, if you get a chance, watch UCLA Gonzaga, and whoever wins is going to be in for a great matchup in the Elite Eight as well. So, let's look forward here. So I'm going to take San Diego State, Princeton in the South. Give me San Diego State to go to the Final Four, okay? They're going to win the South, in my opinion. Now, that's a pretty hot take because Bama is right there, the number 1 overall seed. They got Brandon Miller, who is starting to play better. But give me San Diego State to win the South. Let's go to the East to see who San Diego State will play. Florida Atlantic Tennessee, give me Tennessee. Kansas State Michigan State, give me Michigan State. Tennessee Michigan State. I think Michigan State's luck is going to run out here at some point. And Tennessee is playing great ball. Give me Tennessee. So if it's Tennessee, San Diego State, give me San Diego State. San Diego State, the 5 seed, to go to the national championship game. How crazy would that be? At the same time, if it's Tennessee, Michigan State, either one of those teams could go on a deep run, get to the national championship game. But I'm going to go San Diego State in the national championship game now that my Arizona Wildcats are knocked out. Houston, Miami, give me Houston. Texas, Xavier, give me Texas. In the Midwest, Texas, Houston, give me Texas to get to the Final Four. Let's go down to the West bracket. Arkansas, UConn, give me Arkansas. Gonzaga, UCLA, give me UCLA. Arkansas, UCLA, give me UCLA. Now that's a tough one. Another toss-up where Arkansas could win. Give me UCLA, though. UCLA, Texas in the Final Four, give me Texas. And how about a national championship game of Texas, San Diego State? Give me Texas to win it all. Texas was my original national champion pick when the bracket started. I'm sticking with that. So Texas playing some great ball. We'll see if they can keep it going. But regardless, man, this has been a great tournament so far. And it's going to keep on. It's going to be so much fun. The Sweet 16 is going to be awesome. And the Elite 8 as well. So keep watching this tournament. My favorite time of year, the March Madness bracket. And I can't wait. Appreciate all the support, guys. I know it's a tough, adjustment here with Dustin no longer being on, but trust me, we're gonna have great guests. I'm in the talks with Pablo right now, but potentially being the co-host going forward. And even if not, he'll come on plenty. Whether he's co-host or not. Chris is gonna come on. Amanda's talking about coming on. Stoyo's going to be on for rewatches. Gavin as well, our former co-host from back in the day when we started. So stay tuned. There's going to be so much content this spring and summer. I'm working on a free agency episode for later this week, NFL free agency. We got the draft coming up. And we got NBA playoffs where we're going to have Ricky G, Dime Dropper, Hoops and Brews, as well as some former players. So I can't say it enough how much I appreciate all the fans, all the supporters, everyone in the group, everyone on Twitter, Bears Twitter, NFL Twitter, all everybody, NBA Twitter, Ricky G and Dime Dropper for sure, helping me out all the time. So stay tuned. Big things on deck. We're gonna keep the episodes coming. I'm probably gonna start pushing out more content now, just because it's gonna be more so. I control, it's easy for me to just record whenever I want. So, appreciate all the support, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Have a great week, and peace out.